welcome. Fix It Friday. A couple of minutes late joining because I responded to a client. I could not respond to it. Client has lost 2 stone. They were kind of at that point last week where they were a bit fed up with following the meal plan, the training plan, that whole thing of like they wanted to get under the 2 stone, lose the 2 stone, and they were just like edging on the cusp of it, but it wasn't quite happening. So we're getting a bit frustrated, and we stayed on it, and they still lost the weight. So we got 2 stone off, and it's that thing when you're just about to give up is when the results come, right? We never know, we're literally just around the corner from the results happening, and they've been consistently getting weight loss, and they celebrated Christmas, New Year, they had their family birthdays, they've had their own birthday, so they've not had life, not lived life during that time, and they still managed to lose 2 stone so far. So brilliant, epic effort, and it shows you if you stick to the plan, meals and training, the weight will come off, but it's also sustainable. So it's not starving yourself. Previously, they were yo-yo dieter, your cabbage soup diet, your low calorie stuff, living off minimal calories. And it's that whole thing about, I was like, let's have a conversation about doing it sustainably long term, but also so they're providing a really good example to their kids. Because kids watch everything, right? They see how their parents eat, and you kind of starving yourself and binging is going to impact as they grow up and their food choices and how they see dieting as a fad thing, and then you binge eat and things like that. So it's really about not just helping that person with their relationship with food and how to be a healthy weight so they're around for their kids longer and to feel confident in their body, but also what their kids are seeing too, and looking at how that person's prepping their meals, eating healthy food, the volumes of what they're having, the mixture of colors that they're having, and the difference it gives them in terms of energy. So super chuffed for that client. Anyway, we are on Friday Q&A. If you're on the StreamYard, remember, add your name, give permission so I can see who you are, because if you say hi, I can see who you are. So yes, hello. And remember, if you catch it on replay, #replay. All right, this session, one of my favorite ones to do is coming at you with all the questions from the week and what are the answers. So let me just get some of these up. Okay. Kind of ties into what I was just discussing. How much weight can I expect to lose in what time frame? So the client I just mentioned, they've lost 2 stone to date. They started with me at the end of November. And for a lot of people, you'd be thinking, why would you start a healthy eating plan at the end of November, Christmas coming up? But this person didn't want Christmas to be about stuffing your face and getting really fat and heavy feeling, and just going all in and putting even more weight on, and that weight going up and up. So they decided to start in November. So let's say November, December, January, February, almost at the end of March. So they've been about 5 months for the 2 stone. Now you might be thinking, Jesus, that's a long time, but this is sustainable. This is not about a quick win weight loss. I work with people on long-term plans so that they can sustain it throughout their lives, and it's not yo-yo dieting, it's not missing things out, it's enjoying food. And when I first gave them their meal plan, they were like, geez, that's a lot of food. Now, this person is large, being completely honest, they are in the obese category. So their body's working harder to carry everything around. Their body's working harder for all the processes that go on. So they are able to have a lot more calories than, say, I could. And the thing to remember about how much weight can you expect to lose, there's so many factors in that. Where are you starting off? How committed are you around training and moving your body more? How committed are you around sticking to a meal plan? I don't give all clients meal plans. Some clients start with meal plans, some more intuitive food, and we look at foods that work for them or not. But ultimately, it's about, well, what's your commitment to that weight loss? And I say commitment in terms of long-term healthy weight loss rather than commitment to a cleanse, a detox that's going to last 2 weeks, something that's, really restricting your food and your food choices, and you're not going to be able to stay with it. So in terms of how much you can expect to lose, again, it depends on your starting point. Someone who is obese has a lot more to lose. Then that'll come off a bit quicker than somebody like myself who's leaner. I could go on to lose weight, but it would take me longer. But the point is, everybody can lose weight at some point, but it's about maintaining that healthy weight. How much depends on where you start from, how much and how long depends on your investment. So how are you investing your time into food prep? How are you investing your time in eating healthy and the choices you're making? How are you investing your time in moving your body? So sometimes people who ask that question, I'm kind of making assumptions here. You're maybe looking for a quick fix, a quick win. Maybe you've got a holiday coming up and you're like, oh shit, I'm on holiday in 2 weeks and I feel a bit bloated and a bit uncomfortable. I want to get comfortable in my swimwear. Then it is going to be restricting yourself for 2 weeks from all the food you enjoy, more than likely. But yeah, it's that whole thing about how long and what you can expect. It depends on where you start from. Very individual. I don't think with my clients, I've never done like an average. Here's the average time, here's the average amount that they've lost in that time, because it's so individual. And I either put them on meal plans or we work intuitive eating, and then the training is completely different. There's some people who actually, due to physical things, due to age, that they don't train as much as someone else who maybe wants to push the barriers and used to be a Commonwealth athlete, for example. My client this morning used to be a Commonwealth athlete, so therefore their fitness is higher and they want to push themselves more than someone else. So it really depends on you, your lifestyle, and what it is you want to achieve. So it's a maybe question. And if anybody says to you, oh, you'll lose a stone within 4 weeks, yeah, query that. The safe weight loss is to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. That's the safe level, 1 to 2 pounds again. But if you are on the slimmer side, you may be a bit leaner side, then it will take longer to happen. All right, what types of food should I be eating to support weight loss? You know what I'm going to say. Protein, protein, protein. Yeah, protein is going to keep you fuller for longer. It's going to stop any food cravings. And then you want your veg, your fruit, which is, again, is going to bulk out, full of nutrition, many calories as you can. So as well, it's not just about filling your belly, but eyes, we eat with our eyes, right? So it looks tempting, it looks tasty, and you're going to enjoy it because there's different flavors popping. So in terms of the foods, think about protein, think about veg, think about fruits, colors, flavors you enjoy, and that's going to help you support your weight loss. Try and stay away from shake stuff, I'd say. So I know there's different like meal replacement shakes. I've heard of people doing cleanses where it's like 2 shakes a day and then you're allowed 1 evening meal. Try and do it with foods that actually requires you to chew. Okay, our mouth or teeth are there for a reason. So try and stay away from protein shakes, any kind of diet slimming shakes, Herbalife, that sort of nonsense, and use your teeth for food. All right. How can I manage hunger and cravings while trying to lose weight? So a bit similar to what I just covered, but so in terms of the hunger, like say the protein, the veg, the fruit, but if you've still got cravings and you're still like hungry, check how much protein you've had. Have a little look. So what's happened in the last 24, 72 hours? Are you really tired? Because if you're tired, you're maybe going to bed late, not had a great night's sleep. Then if you're tired, you're going to be craving food because your brain's like, oh, you're going to want me to keep going, then you're going to need to fuel me. You're going to need to fill me. So that might be where the hunger is coming from. So it'd be good to understand, where is the hunger coming from? Is it because you're tired? Is it from boredom? Is it because you're working in the kitchen by the fridge? What is it that actually the hunger is stemming from? And if it is genuinely because you're hungry, again, look at protein. How much protein have you had through the day? Are you hydrated? Have you had enough water? And really think about, why is it I'm hungry? What is it that's creating that? In terms of cravings, I shared a reel the other day around, if you're a savoury person like me and you love to chomp down on crisps. I shared the Snacko Jacks with you the other day. So these are like 80 calories, and they don't have the flavour enhancer in them, which means they won't require you to munch and munch. You won't be able to eat a whole multi-pack. Personally, I don't find a whole multi-pack. One for me hits that crisp craving, salt and vinegar craving, and they do them in other flavors too. They do them in sweet chili. Another person sent me a picture of their sweet chili today. They do sweet chili, and they do sweeter flavors like caramel too. So sweet, savoury, help the Snacko Jacks that come in different flavors, savoury and sweet, and that will just help you with that craving. Again, if you're like, oh no, I'm really more a chocolate person, then dark chocolate will give you that hit and you'll not be able to overindulge in it. Milk chocolate is designed for you to keep eating it and eating it. I'm not even a chocolate person, but I'd one of these giant bars, so I'd still be able to munch through it, right? It's designed that way, so you can keep having more and more. Same with Krispy Kreme donuts. I think there's something about the ring donut, about this precision science around it to make you want more and more of them. So yeah, think about going for high quality dark chocolate. Let me reach for one. So with this, it's what's that, 80%, and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like dark chocolate. Exactly. So if you've got a true chocolate craving, then have this because you'll have 2 squares, you're allowing yourself to have some chocolate. You're not going to overindulge, and it'll give you a bit of goodness too, a bit of iron and stuff. So yeah, go for this stuff. Okay, next up. So to summarize that, Snacker Jacks are my go-to for cravings. Sweet or savory, you get 2. And if you're a chocolate person, go for the dark chocolate. All right. What role do hormones play in weight loss? Oh, so this is quite interesting. I had this conversation last night with a client, actually. She was medically induced menopause, which is when people are going for cancer treatments, and it pushes you into menopause early with the treatments. And we were talking about this last night about there's a lot of information on menopause, but there's not so much about medically induced and what that does. So ultimately, when we go through perimenopause to menopause, is a 10-year window, 10-year period of time. Now, for people who are medically induced, that can be like switch overnight by the time taking injections to switch off their estrogen. It can happen over a space of 1 or 2 months, or literally, actually another client this morning was saying for her, it was like literally overnight, she felt awful the next night. So typically breast cancer is estrogen fed, and as a result, the patients, clients tend to get put on medication to stop estrogen being absorbed in their body and to stop their ovaries working, or they might remove the ovaries altogether to stop them producing estrogen because the cancer is estrogen fed, and someone might be advised against not having tofu and so forth. So what does that got to do with weight loss? Well, when we go through the menopause, it slows down. Our metabolic rate does slow down, and it means that it can be harder to lose weight. Also, our ability to build our muscle bank. So to build our muscle bank, it takes longer. It's not as easy for us to build muscle, and muscles love calories. That's what helps us burn fat, and it helps us shape and tone our body. So that's why we want to work on our muscle bank as soon as we can. So by working on our muscle bank, we can then maintain a healthy lifestyle, be able to pick things up, lift stuff, chuck stuff, do whatever we want, not be restricted and reliant on other people. So that own female independence, right? But it also helps us burn calories too. So if we are going through perimenopause, menopause, if we are estrogen fed cancer, breast cancer, then those hormones will be stripped out, and then that can make it harder for us to lose weight. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but what it does mean is that you need to be patient and you need to be consistent. And certainly a lot of people talk about removal of sugar. Sugar's in a lot of things. We are getting more natural sugars being put in things now. I'm noticing certain products, natural sugars are coming in, but they tend to be like the olive fructose, the stevia. There's some things coming out now about those products and gut health. For me personally, pea protein and olive fructose does not work for my bowels. They do not like it, and it's sneaking into quite a lot of foods. So whilst we say, yeah, cut out the sugar, it is everywhere, right? So you will get sugar in crisps, for example, and you will get sugar in your cooking sauces. So the only way to really know what you're having and to omit sugar is making everything you make it yourself, everything, and using like products like the dark chocolate. I mean, this still got sugar in it, right? So it's still cane sugar in it. How much sugar's got in it? 1.9 grams per square. Yeah, so it doesn't taste like it's got sugar in it, right? But yeah, even dark chocolate still got sugar in it. So as we age and our hormones change and we go through that second puberty, everything slows down a bit. It's harder for us to layer on the muscle. It's harder for us to lose weight. And it means we can't get away with what we used to, right? Munch on a whole bag, eat a whole pack of crisps, whatever it was, drinking alcohol, and it wouldn't affect our weight. But what we find now is actually those couple of cheeky biscuits here and there seem to add on the pounds, or the weight doesn't shift despite what we're trying to do exercise. We might be doing 4 exercise sessions a week, but we're having cheeky biscuits here, a bit of chocolate there, and we're finding the weight's just creeping on. So in summary, the role hormones play are quite fundamental. I was asked this a while ago from one client, and I'll share this with you because doing the cancer rehab work, she said to me, she questioned me on what is the biggest thing you've learned with the cancer rehab work you've done and all the clients you've worked with. And I said straight up, what I have learned most is how fundamental our hormones are in our body, the function they do around mobility, around joints, around our mood. Is huge. Weight loss is another part of that. Hormone health is so fundamental to our well-being, and it's never really discussed about. We're getting more about menopause but more about the symptoms, but not much about why our hormones are important in the function they play in the body. So hormones are huge, so they play a massive role. And, even if you're not perimenopause, menopause stage, if you've got a daughter, a niece, whatever, who's having periods, it's fundamental, because if you think about it, before you have your period, you might be super thirsty, you might get cravings for food, or you might not be that bothered by food. And then your period comes and you're like, can't eat enough, I can't stop weighing because of all the water you've drunk. So they play a huge role in our life and our mood, our body health. So yeah, wherever you're at on that female health cycle of periods, perimenopause, menopause, just know that they do play a big part, but that doesn't mean you need to blame them for putting the weight on. Like we hear about the middle-age spread. You can do things to stop that happening. You can do things to change that. And fundamentally, it comes down to diet and exercise, but not killing yourself with exercise to try and do that. So think about trying to calm the body down. Things, stretching, yoga, walking, as well as other types of training you like, and cutting out those cheeky biscuits, the cake, all those things that seem to creep in. So yeah, huge factor, hormones and our health overall. And yes, of course, they are a factor in weight loss, but please don't tell yourself that this is just the way it's going to be. Oh, well, I'm in my 40s now, I'm in my 50s, the weight doesn't seem to shift anymore, I've tried everything. Because what I find is when people say they've tried everything, what they've tried is fad diets, cleanses, intermittent fasting is a kind of a bit more of a fad as well. I say that because the number of clients in their early 50s who have done fasting and found that actually fasting's been screwing them up, and it's not actually benefited them in their weight loss. So yeah, it's about finding what works for you. All right, I know that was a long response in regards to that question, but yeah, they are so fundamental. All right, and we'll ask one more because I know we're over time. How can I maintain my weight loss after reaching my goal? So maintenance. Well, so there's a couple of questions here. Maintaining it in terms of you don't want to continue losing weight, I'm going to assume. So you kind of want to feel like you're happy with the body shape that you are, and you don't want to go any lower because you might think I feel unhealthy. Then what you can do is actually look at, assuming you're watching calories, what your calorie level is for maintenance. So what your calories intake is daily for maintenance, and that includes your proteins, fats, and carbs. If you're struggling with that one, drop me a note. I'll get some details off you, and I can let you know what your maintenance numbers are around calories, fats, carbs, and protein on a daily basis. And that means you will maintain your weight as it is. If it's a case of like you're not wanting to do as much exercise, or you want to stop doing something because you feel like you put a lot of effort into getting to where you are and you kind of want a bit more time back for you, let me know. So yeah, whatever it is around what maintenance means for you, is it about the lifestyle or incorporating more foods, or is it literally scale weight? Then drop me a note and I can help you by working out what your maintenance weight would be. And like I say, that's also incorporating activity levels. So if you've been doing extra to try and get to that weight, so you kind of want to chill it down a bit and find out what the new level is, then you can drop me a note and then we can discuss things about food too. All right, team. So that's me, Friday night Q&A. Keep dropping your questions in. I love answering your questions. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy spreading the knowledge, because I know when I was going through my weight loss journey, there wasn't anybody to help me. And that's my mission. My mission is really about helping people. That's what I set out to do, is help people on their weight loss journey and give them information that I never had access to. So if you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know what you want more of. Thank you for joining me. Go enjoy your Friday night. If you've got a Chinese takeaway on the list of things that are going to be taking place this weekend, go and watch my reel. It's all about how to navigate the Chinese takeaway and things to look out for, so that you feel like you can enjoy it and not kind of blow all your calories or all the good work you've done all week. Take care. Catch us later.